Planet Zoo has been rated E10 by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It has been approved for all players aged 10 years and up. Hey there, folks. How you doing? This is Jack. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Harmony Point Zoo rebuild. This episode, I used to speak English very well. Unfortunately, I'm having a bit of a day, so I'm slurring a little. I'm a little mush mouth. I apologize if I'm not as clear or as loud as I could be. I literally have problems speaking because of my brain injury. So sometimes I don't speak loud enough and sometimes I'm not clear enough, and I do apologize in both cases. I can't help it. It's just one of those things. Anyway, guys, this episode is a little bit different from the others in that I'm not planning on doing a big build. What I want to do right now is a little bookkeeping, plus a little beautification. We're just going to add a little to the zoo here and there, take care of some things. Should work out just fine. So the first thing I wanted to do was look at our animals. All right. Aardvarks, we have an adult male, adult female, and a juvenile female. I'm going to go ahead and put the juvenile female on birth control so that if she grows up without me noticing and dad gets frisky, we don't have a problem. We're going to rename Bisquick here from... I did not name him that. He came that way. Let's call him Bob. B-O-B. There we go. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. And Zuina's doing pretty good too. We're just going to name her Zoe. And this is Saliha, the juvenile. And we're going to call this one Sally. All right. The aardvarks are doing pretty good. All three of them. Okay, looks like we need to keep her in here. The wild dogs are doing pretty well, so what's next? I'm going to put the adults on birth control so that we're not flooded with babies, because they will do that. These things take like 25 years to get to adulthood, and in the meantime, the adults will keep having babies while my babies stay babies for a quarter of a century. Apparently, we have a lot of warthogs. Too many warthogs if you really think about it. Damn, I keep doing that. Most of them are, of course, juveniles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the grown-ups on birth control. And then I'm going to send the younger grown-ups, these 5, to the wild. Doesn't really get us anything since we're playing sandbox, but that's okay. Make some space. Yeah, cleanliness and hard shelter. It's because there's too many warthogs here. All right. Vipers. Okay, that habitat's cleaned up. They're doing all right. Do we need to get rid of some of the puff adders? No, they seem to be doing okay. The giraffes are doing all right. We're going to have baby giraffes soon. Two female sable antelopes. I want to introduce a male, but there was none on the market. So let me look. Aha, here we go. 8,000. Yeah, I'm not going to spend 8,000 on the sable antelope. Let's add him to the habitat with the giraffes. There we go. And we got the striped hyenas. All right, now that the populations are under control, I need to figure out a place to put our next habitat. This is where this zoo departs from the original version. See, originally, this is where I stopped building the African portion of the zoo and started building the Arctic portion. But I'm going to be expanding a little bit on the African portion. I originally planned when I did this, the original version of this, I was like, okay, I'll do the Arctic animals. I'll add a couple of Arctic animals, and then I will come back to the Africa and fill the Africa portion out. But I never got back to it, so it was like, that sucks. So instead, this time, I'm sticking with the African portion of the zoo for a little while. Working on the river a little. My plan is that each individual section of the zoo will be separated by the river. That's interesting. I didn't plan on this happening, but I might expand it into an actual lake. All right. This is actually a pretty good place to put it, although I'd have to wall it off from the river. What I'm talking about is a habitat for the African elephant. That actually might work. I'm not planning on doing a full build right now. I'm just sizing things out, getting the borders decided, and figuring out what I'm gonna, do once I get there. But this is not going to be, the final version of the habitat. And the habitat's going to be for the African Savannah elephant. Like I said, originally with this zoo, I stopped after the giraffes. I stopped adding to the African section. Always meaning to come back to it, but I never did. So ordinarily what we'd be doing in this episode is adding Arctic wolves. But I'll save that for a later episode. 2,500 feet. So how much space do elephants need? $45. I need much more. So this space is not good enough by half. So what I'll do is I'll end up removing the barrier. I would have thought they would have been okay in that kind of space. But no, that's fine. Excuse me, I just yawned. Okay, that's 6,000 square meters right there. I could probably build a thing on it. Excuse me, I keep yawning. It is late where I am right now, and I am tired. I had a busy day. I overexerted myself a little bit. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the recording and come back to it later and go take a nap. You guys won't notice that I'm away at all. That's probably a good thing. Oh, hey, it's raining again. Last time it rained like this, Noah built himself a boat. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience, but I told you you wouldn't even notice I was gone, and you didn't. All right, so what we're going to do, before I started the camera, I added a couple of landscaping elements, some plants, and these rocks. I also put this post here to show what the outer border of this habitat's going to be. What I want to do here, that'll work. Yeah, let's make it 4. 4 meters. This will work. Maybe 5 or 6. There we go. That'll work. I have some pretty impressive fencing that I can use for elephants. But what I want to do is basically make a big open-faced habitat that relies on a moat to keep the elephants from escaping rather than fences. I mean, it's going to incorporate the fences too, but for the most part, this is going to be a habitat that's got a moat to it. We can remove that column, I think. All right. Well, that actually does the job. I may be able to get away with just using a blueprint. See how this looks. Not matching up to the grid 100%, so I may need to make continual adjustments, but you know what, that's all right, that's all right. I think this might be working out. And then I can plant some flowers along the mulch. Flowers and bushes, elephant grass, things like that. If I sound a little mushy, you know, if my voice sounds like I'm slurring and such, I do apologize. Unfortunately, it's a side effect of one of my other medical problems. And I try to keep it under control, but sometimes I just can't help it, and I sound like I've got marbles in my mouth. I think I've explained this before. In addition to being a heart patient and a diabetic, I also have a permanent brain injury. Now, for the most part, the effects of this permanent brain injury are very mild. I occasionally go into seizure, but I'm on a medication that controls the seizures. But unfortunately, it also affects my speech. It doesn't keep me from talking, but what it does is, if you've ever seen the classic quote-unquote stroke survivor and how their face kind of droops on one side, I have that problem. The reason I grow a beard, and I know you guys have seen pictures and I've got this beard, the reason I grow a beard is to hide the fact that I droop on one side of my face. Anyway, that droop causes me to slur and sound mushy when I talk. And like I said, it's not something I can really help. I try to keep it under control. But if you are having a hard time understanding anything I say, Let me know in the comments and I will try and explain. I'm trying to do better, guys. So I'm going to run this moat along the front of the proposed elephant enclosure, but along the sides, it's going to be fences. Along the back, it'll be rock formations and a concrete building. That will also serve as a shelter for the elephants. Oh, I am good. That'll do. All right. Yeah, I like that. That's going to work. Let me grab a rock formation. Just a basic rock formation. Let me use this one. There we go. Elephants are not known to be great climbers, nor are they really great jumpers. So you don't need to have your rocks be that tall to block them off. Okay, and another rock formation. Oh, I see. Yeah. This one. Okay, guys. I know I've been doing this in real time because, it was requested, but to keep this video from being an hour and a half, 2 hours long, I'm going to switch this now to the time lapse and speed up the construction of the elephant habitat. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you more when the speed build is done, because I will come back and explain things and talk about it and all that number. All right? Talk to you in a minute. Okay, so this is our elephant habitat, or at least it's the bare bones of one. I'll bring the animals in. I think I have the elephants. I have 3 juveniles. What I'll do is I'll grab the adults from the market and add these juveniles to our habitat. Of course, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the elephant habitat and make sure it doesn't become overcrowded. They like beaver pools? Interesting. Okay, the gyro is one of my favorite of all the enrichment items in the game, just because it's huge and clunky, and I love it. Barrel feeder, of course, we got to have at least 1 barrel feeder. I'll probably give them 2. One here, one over here. Big giant soccer ball right out of the trailer. Barrel feeder. Roller feeder. And semi-truck tire. I'll look and see if I have a blueprint for an elephant-specific mud bath. Work. In fact, I'm going to give him a second one over here. I always think of these as flamingo arches. Okay, let's see about their terrain dislikes. Not enough long grass. Okay, let's put some long grass in. And some soil. Little rock along the rocky spaces and along the water. Like so. We'll also put rock along the frontage here. Okay. Plants are alright. Enrichment is okay. But they need some more shelter. You know what though? I know what to do about that. The great thing about playing this game for as long as I have is that I've got blueprints built up for everything. right. I know I haven't been talking very much. I'm sorry. This is one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of narration, is because I forget to talk. I get so into the build that I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. I've got an audience. So I apologize for that, guys. Just trying to find ways to spruce up the habitat. Okay, and we'll add some education. This is already a long video.
ad henos in Savannah, Hirofi ad Hernari. Buse malu at famalu. Alepi se zoki.
And so we put them in work zones. And again, I'm sorry for the fact that I've basically gone silent. I can't seem to break this particular bad habit where I'm just like, I'm not talking, I'm just building. If you've ever wondered why I tend to rely on speed builds, this is why. Because otherwise, I don't talk a lot. Which I know is not really good for a YouTube content creator. But like I said, it's a bad habit that I've never seemed to break. I've watched, some of the other Planet Zoo creators, and I'm like, how do they keep that narration up? I don't get it. But I'll try to be better. Anyway, guys, this was our African elephant habitat. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And I think it's doing well. Looks good anyway. And this was a departure from the plan because, like I said, if I was exactly mirroring the original Harmony Point Zoo, then what I would be building in this episode is Arctic wolves and not African savanna elephants. I am going to be continuing to add to the African portion of this zoo for a little while, and then we're going to the Great White North. We will be going to the Arctic. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for the next animal, please let me have them. How often do I have the keepers coming in here? Every month? They're not showing up. Every month apparently is not good enough. I may change the store out if it doesn't work. All right. That's about it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. I love hearing from you. And I'll see you in the next episode. I have not yet decided what the next animal is going to be, but I'm probably going to be putting it somewhere up here. So if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
There is a solution, you could be a part of it. There's a revolution, you could be the start of it. Better get a move on while there's still a chance of it. If there's no improvement, this could be the last of it. Nature was a haven, now we need saving. No more conversation, time for cultivation. We all got a part to do to help the world pull through. But you gotta build a zoo. This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. You've an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it. That planet to grab your shovel. Let's work to do, the world's in trouble. You gotta build